This one is called Intruder Alert.
Okay, that looks like a cop has pulled you over.
Absolutely, that one
While
is
you're
definitely
podcasting? Yeah.
your neighbors are gonna have some questions.
Rabid snowman alert.
Nope, they definitely
No.
won't because the only windows I have are skylights.
It's gonna look like you're raving.
What?
So I'll confuse someone in the International Space Station.
Yeah, Beth
There
is in
you
the
go.
attic, so all she has is skylight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of January 7th, 2025. We have just completed the FCS football season. Congratulations to North Dakota State for winning their 10th national title in 14 attempts, or not in 14 attempts, in 14 years. I guess that's attempts. And they've won them all in Frisco. Next year when they go to Nashville, I don't know if it's going to be the same. Tonight, I am wearing my official NCAA football beanie with the little puff on top because I support, in this order, the NCAA, a fine institution made of fine people, and football, the concept of.
It's the traditional Passover blessing. Next year in Frisco.
Folks, as always, I am Jordan, and I am joined tonight by Commish, Beth, special guest Big Sky Brigit, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Pit Girl is not here. She has been eaten by a rabid polar bear. Commish, how are you, sir?
My kill streak continues.
All right. I'm good. Do I have to say Happy Tuesday in honor of
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, folks.
I heard some of the most delightful accents last night. The North Dakota accent.
Oh,
Yeah.
Up, Beth.
We're getting in line. We're getting in line.
So do I sound more North Dakotan or more Minnesotan? Because I haven't been in Minnesota since 2002.
I can't tell the difference.
I think I was in North Dakota last in like 2006. So I don't know. Oh yeah, sure. So Bob and I were going to go to the FCS championship game, but we couldn't because we were going to go ice fishing. But sure shooting, you betcha, we had a really good time.
We went down to the Tilted Kilt. Mary was still there. Mary's one of my favorite Tilted Kilters.
How do you
really? What? I have not seen her in. Oh gosh, how long has it been now?
I have to look up restaurants in Frisco. Hold up.
Can
there's ones they really like.
Beth, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
And just say Fargo Dome.
Oh, the Fargo Dome.
Yes, thank you.
That's good.
That's very good.
This was, as always, when North Dakota State rolls in, they hit up all of the Hooters and Hooters knockoffs in the Frisco area. I think one of them is called Home Run. There's Tilted Kilt. There's a few more. I got to find the list. Anyways.
Twin Peaks? Is there a Twin Peaks?
Yeah, there's a Twin Peaks. Yep.
I have to go to the Twin Peaks because that's where they'll show you the whole hot dish.
Oh my God.
It wasn't until the full cast a few weeks ago that I learned that restaurant was not named after David Lynch's thing.
Yeah, no, very much not David Lynch's thing. It's very much.
It gets me every time. Like living in Seattle, every time I would drive by, I would go, "Hey, sweet, oh God damn it!" Where I object permanence would forget that it's not a Twin Peaks themed restaurant, and I had to go to North Bend for that.
Beth, how are you?
I'm swell. I got to show off my cool snowdrift outside of my office today, which made me very happy.
It was very good.
Yep. Yeah. Listener, I have like 4.5 feet of snow that is just piled up in a weird drift outside of my office. That was mesmerizing my tiny clientele today.
Brigit, how are you?
You know what? I'm here. I'm zen. I have been working. Is that me?
You're fine.
Okay, I was hearing an echo. And maybe that's just my own sadness reverberating in my ears. But I was, in all seriousness, I'm very happy to have been part of this season. We'll get into the game later. But I'm here, and go Cats. Next year in Nashville.
I did find a review of Wild Pitch in Frisco that calls it, quote, a sleazy version of Hooters.
What?
That sounds... Wow.
I don't want to go to Hooters. That's too classy.
Yeah.
Right.
I need something just a little sleazier.
It's like saying, let's not go to that Denny's. Let's go to the skeezy Denny's.
Quote, I wish some of the staff wore pants.
Only some, though. Not all. Just some.
Another review, not what I expected, comma, a pleasant birthday treat. So, it takes all people.
Yeah, it takes all kinds.
Arthur, how are you, man?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we're fully back into like normal schedules, in terms of like life, routine, work, all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, still
January.
A little adjustment getting back there.
January, the entire month is a Monday.
I have been so screwed up today because having the FCS championship game on a Monday messed me up, because now it feels like today felt like Monday. And the problem is my kid also started school today because they had Monday off. So it really felt like a Monday, and I've just been time warping all day today. I did go to the FCS championship game last night in Frisco, Texas. It was cold as shit. I got to stand next to the bands. I got to see friend of the program, CFB Campus Tours, who we will have on later on this month.
Did they let you direct the bands at all?
They did not.
I'm going to start yelling at people to make you direct the bands. My new goal is to have you direct as many D1 bands as possible.
That would be great. Oh, it'd be so much fun. Also, I got to see James Hill, friend of the program from the Southland Conference. I did not get to see, unfortunately, the Big Sky folks, even though they are the ones that helped me get in. But by the time I was on the field, I didn't go back up to the press box.
Like the last time we were there with the Big Sky folks, like we saw like Tyson and the Big Sky Commish, like in the parking lot. But then they go to like the booth or whatever, in the press box, and it's very limited like seating that way. And they basically, essentially, when we had them last year, they just left right after the game. They went to catch a flight, and then they were flying back to Salt Lake City headquarters of the Big Sky. So at least today they got to like wait a little bit and got to visit Buc-ee's and whatnot. But when they hooked us up with the photography stuff, and we're on the field, it's just like we can't get to where they are, and it's not a joke. Like the NCAA runs this, and it's not a joke. Like you can't just wander around wherever you want to go. Like in some of the bowl games that we go to, we could just wander anywhere. But this is very serious, and our presence there it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much to the Big Sky. But it's just like, oh yeah, we got to be serious now.
We are tolerated at this event. Let's put it that way.
Let's
be very clear. We are not celebrated. We are tolerated.
Are they just waiting for the moment when one of us pees on the floor? Is it that kind of a vibe?
You feel that, right? You feel like that way because this is like their big, beautiful thing. This is their baby. This is the division.
The D1 championship.
That when I said that and posted that tweet about the trophy being the only official Division I football championship, people got people get really feelings about that.
Hey man, because I'm mad.
Hey, you guys are welcome to have an open tournament with auto qualifiers and a bunch of teams. You can do this. All the groundwork is there, baby. Ain't nothing to do. I think that the best part about the game, besides being freezing, was that it was a true 50-50 crowd. And it was one of the loudest things I've ever been to, Commish. I remember last year, you and I talking about how loud Montana, South Dakota State was from the field.
Yeah, it was nuts. We were in that, I think we were in the corner, one corner where it was the South Dakota State fans in the corner. And we're like at the corner of the end zone in that little, like, I guess, bowl where it has like a roof
against where the soccer Hall of Fame is.
Where the Hall of Fame is, and that like just the sound reverberating on that, and then plus like the play was right down there too when we were down there, so it was incredibly loud. But I'm sure it was a little bit different, especially at night, because everybody had a little bit more time to get ready for the game. I think
this was a wild one. The crowd was so loud. The eat shit bison, go cats go, echoing throughout. Totally could hear it. Brigit, I didn't tell you this. I forgot to mention this because I was so cold going to my car. But there was a young Montana State fan, little girl who's probably 5 or 6, walking with her parents.
Yeah.
And she said, "Eat shit, Grizzlies, go cats go."
Yes.
So
Raising
the fire continues. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
The
this
future
is
is
the day
strong.
where we can cuss.
So she was like mad at Montana.
No, but that's what you all.
Oh
no,
no! When we were at the Idaho game, and they were playing Moni Moni. Anytime they got to the little breakdown part, the eat shit Grizzlies, go cats go, every single time, every single time.
The oddest moment at the West Virginia Penn State game this year was when everyone started yelling "Eat shit, Pitt." It was a very strange moment for all of us.
I love it. This game had a bit of everything. Montana State looked like they were on the rails for the first half, and they kind of were, but absolutely came out swinging in the second half and played them so close, including a final touchdown that almost landed in my lap. I finally sent Brigit the video of Taco catching that pass.
So happy today.
I watched the broadcast, and I'm behind the very corner of the screen. You can't see me. There's 3 dudes in these hats that I'm wearing, and I'm right behind them in that shot. It was really funny.
You still had a really good view for it. It made me happy.
Oh, it was great. At one point, Commish had told me to move because Montana State was not doing so well, and I found a good spot. And they started doing better, so I just stayed there.
Yes, thank you.
Like, I'm very superstitious. Like it's not looking good. Move, Jordan, move.
No, that was me.
Because if I was there, I'm very superstitious. I'll just say that. When it comes to watching my team, I'm going to be doing like so many things to try to get the outcome. I know it doesn't matter, but mentally for me, I do it. I don't care. I was like, okay, they're not doing well. You need to move, Jordan. Get to a different location. The Bobcats are under heavy fire. Get to a safe location. I'm glad you did it because they came back, which was nice. I thought there was a moment I'm like, if they could just take the lead, I think they could do it. Because they were just playing come from behind ball the entire time. And I was like, they had the shot in the mid fourth quarter, and that was I feel like that 3 and out really
that pulled it.
Yeah, like that 3 and out, like they just rallied. The second half it's 21-10 and it's 21-18. They stopped, but then North Dakota State goes down. Now it's 28-18. They go back down really quickly again. 5 plays, 75 yards. It's 28-25. They force a punt. I'm like, they're getting the ball back now. Here's their first chance to take the lead. If they could take the lead or maybe tie the game with the field goal, because it's 28-25 at this point. Unfortunately, they go like 3 and out. That was it. The pass that he had on 3rd and 4, I feel like he could have made that pass, and it just wasn't on target. If they get that first down, I mean, maybe they go. But I mean, they had the punt, and then there goes North Dakota State right back down the field, essentially for a grinding drive to get a 10-point lead, and they just playing catch up all night. They had the one shot, I think, and the onside kick thing was kind of fun too. I was like, let's see what happens here. But
watching Cam Miller versus Touchdown Tommy was such a great quarterback duel in this game. You had 2 guys that are at the absolute top of the game. You have, of course, Walter Payton award-winning Touchdown Tommy Lott from Montana State, who was trying to just absolutely shoulder this thing, along with his receiver, Taco. What's his last name? Help me here.
Taco Dowler.
Taco Dowler. Thank you.
Yes.
Taco Dowler is like 5'9", He's not very tall. He's a small kid. And like it's weird because again, I stood next to him at one point when he went out of bounds, and like, oh no, I'm 6'1". I am bigger than this kid by a long shot. But he just gets he gets open and he gets in the right spots. And Commish, did we find out what the actual origin story of Taco is?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
So basically, it says one account goes like this: his real name is McLean. So like
McLean Dowler. Okay.
Young McLean Dowler was in a Taco Bell drive-thru with his family when he spotted the sign and blurted out, "That's my name."
That'll do it.
Great.
That's it, and it stuck. And again, there was some more details about like his brother tried to call himself Burrito, and that didn't stick.
Have you ever how do you feel about giving yourself a nickname? People are very controversial about this. Can you give yourself a nickname?
When you're like 4 or 5, I think you can.
Okay.
I feel like you can do it, but it has to be good, and it has to you have to be good about it, right? Like if you give yourself a nickname and it's inaccurate, like especially in sports, like if you want to like I'm Mr. Clutch and like you're not, then like that's when people really get on you. Like with Paul George trying to call himself Playoff P. Like that's the situation where it can't be from you. Like if someone else, if it's like a nickname based on like achievement, I feel like you have to earn that. But I feel like other stuff you can do that yourself.
This is basically the story of how it went down fully here to get Taco. So Taco, when he got his name, his dad said, "What do you want for breakfast, McLean?" That's my real name, Taco said. And he said, I said, "My name's Taco." And then his brother Caden said, "My name's Burrito." Only one stuck. So like his brother Caden didn't get to be like Taco and Burrito. Didn't work out. The only thing that stuck, just basically, somebody said, "Love that the family was like, be fucking serious, Caden."
Mm-hmm.
Caden, you ain't no damn burrito, but Taco, McLean, you a taco.
This is a fucking taco.
That's a taco right here. That is a taco. You ain't no damn burrito.
As someone who has a nickname that he's not gone by it in a long time, mine was given to me, but it was a fraternity nickname, so that's a whole other, that's a whole other thing. You're being named, and I do regret that the first choice in the room was not taken because I was supposed to be called Baloo. And I think Baloo would have been an excellent name for me, like Baloo from the Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book bear.
That would have been good. But I became Widget instead.
Okay.
Widget's my house name. Widget's been a nickname for me for a long time.
Right.
And as you go forward and you get to name other people, they're always great. And I think I've told this story before. If I haven't, I'll mention it again. There was a young man who, when I was in charge of naming, we named Testicles.
Oh, I remember that. He hated it. Yes.
And he hated it, and his girlfriend really hated it.
Oh yeah.
And I just feel like it wasn't appreciated as much as it should have been.
Wait a minute.
Puddles was just sort of confused by the nickname that was bestowed upon him.
But, and then you showed him a picture of the duck.
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there is a skill to naming. Like you have to be good at it. I'm not good at naming. I save everything as like default. Like if you looked at the actual podcast files, like everything is like a formula, like with a date. Like I don't put the episode title in that. Like it's just like, nope, we're just whatever date this is, that's what we're calling it. When my younger sibling was born, I did a terrible job picking out names there too. Starbucks was like cool and new and like hip and trendy. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you just go with Starbucks. So I don't have the juice there.
Have the juice there. That's fine. I recognize that. One might argue that I lacked the juice as well, but that's fine. I did get some good ones. I think I got a Bear Claw in there. Bear Claw's a great name. For every Bear Claw though, I got like I think my worst one may have been Sea Bass. That's not great. That's not great.
Was it for someone named Sebastian?
No, his name is Rob.
Oh, okay.
Did they kick ass and you said kick ass Sea Bass?
No, he's a nice guy. But no, just now. It was just the way we did it was people would just yell things out till people started chanting. And once you started chanting, that meant that you had locked the name into place.
Yes, so, the shark bait ceremony.
Exactly right. Okay, perfect.
Ooh-ha-ha.
Right. And so you need something that's very chantable. And yeah, eventually CVAS stuck. 2 syllables works out really well. The other thing about this game was the last play. Can we talk about the last play? Because this game ended on a punt.
Yeah.
Commish, I couldn't see it very clearly from where I was because I was getting ready to film North Dakota State fans pouring onto the field. What happened?
Okay. So this is a weird scenario. It's 4th and 2. 10 seconds left in the game. Montana State stopped North Dakota State from like running the clock all the way down. So you have a 4th and 2. North Dakota State's lined up to punt, and they're going to punt it, and basically just get the punt off, and hope whatever happens then there. So they try to draw them off sides to get the first down in the game. That doesn't work. Then now it's 4th and 7. So 10 seconds left, and Montana State's Coach Vegan, decides to just basically send all 11 in an effort to block the punt and then pick it up and return it for a touchdown. Because, basically North Dakota State's punting from their own 40. Right. There's 10 seconds left. So I'm like, okay. And he decides to not put a returner back. And I'm like, okay, you could put Taco back. Maybe Taco's got a shot to return it. Now, the punt, from what happened in the game, because they rushed it landed at the 20. And when it basically hit the turf, it would have been, Montana State would have got the ball around like the 21-yard line with 5 seconds left, no timeouts, and they needed a field goal. But I mean, you're not going to kick a field goal from that far. There's no weird fair catch kick thing that you could pull off, and that's a 79-yard kick anyway. You're probably not making it. So it's like, okay, go all out to try to block the punt. Fair catch, and then try a pitchy woo woo for like 79 yards for like Tommy Malott and Taco to do that, or just set up a return and see if Taco can house one for the win. It felt like the Star Trek situation, where it's like an impossible decision.
The Kobayashi Maru, which you had to ask about.
I had to ask. I still can't even remember it, but the only time that I remembered from was the bad J.J. Abrams movie, or it was okay, I guess. I don't know. But that's the only thing.
I have an honest to God special place in my heart for Into Darkness. I will defend that movie a lot. I know. It was Arthur shaking his head. It's fine.
You have Arthur? Oh my God.
Arthur says boo. Okay. But I mean, again, I'm not a Star Trek person.
Happy anniversary almost of watching Time Cop, by the way.
Yes.
We got to do another movie.
We're going to do one next week, I think. So
we'll figure that out.
We're going to figure that one out for sure.
I'm not going to put this in the main chat, by the way, guys, but I will post this in the other Discord. I'm going to post a picture of what the ladies at Wild Pitch look like, by the way.
Okay. So what I want to let you know is here. It's just like, okay.
Oh my
everybody
God,
was second guessing this. Everybody was second guessing this decision.
Wow.
Like, okay, you just sell out to try to block it. Like, he has trouble with the snap thing. Mm-hmm. Michigan State versus Michigan. That's basically what they did. They sent everybody. They didn't put a returner back. Or you fair catch it, or you return it. Brigit, I mean, how do you feel about this here? Because like Montana State never really played from behind the entire year, and I don't know if the coach was ready for that in this game. Or I don't know. Go ahead.
So, and Brock,
Montana State point of view.
No, it's fine. So, this also got pointed on the broadcast. I believe Stormy Bonatoni might have said it, or Brock Osweiler saying that they've not played from behind really this season since the New Mexico game. And that's right.
Right.
And the way that you saw North Dakota State come out, just gunning, that's how Montana State has come out every single game.
Yeah.
Set the pace, set the tone, and then just control it for 60 minutes. They did not do that. and a lot of the play calling in the first half, and then this final play call where they rush 11 and Taco's not back there to even try to make a play on it, and the it just gets whistled dead, was frankly baffling.
Yeah.
At that point, I had long since been zen, where I'm like, whatever's going to happen in this game happens. I'm still going to do my superstitions, even though I know they absolutely don't work. But I have to do them anyway, or I will have let the team down, because that's how superstitions work. But just, you really could tell the difference between the first half and the second half. I mean, obviously, but the way that I think the biggest problem for me was that Tommy and his receivers didn't have time to get settled. That first half, they're just playing on the ropes, like seeing ghosts. The whole first half, pretty much. And then they finally start to open it up in the second half. And they're coming back, and they're making those big plays. And then at the end, everyone's just kind of standing around going, what are you doing? I could not make sense of it, is my very long-winded answer.
I mean, it's just like, okay, you block the punt, maybe you recover it, and then you're in field goal range. I'm like, I understand. Okay. Because it's 10 seconds left. The punt gets blocked within like 2 or 3 seconds. You recover it, fall on it, and you got a field goal. They were like, you know, the way North Dakota State's formation, like had everybody spread wide, like really wide. So like nobody could like basically get a giant rush. They didn't bring them in tight whatsoever. And then you had to guard the gunners, because I mean, honestly, I wouldn't put it past North Dakota State throwing a fake there. Like to one of the gunners, if you didn't cover the gunners on the wide. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it past them to do that. I mean, in North Dakota State had their timeouts, but I mean, I felt like you needed to try a return or a play, like
even just catch the ball and
you would have had 5 seconds left. Yeah.
That was the part that baffled me the most, is like, you're just leaving time on the clock, and it's gonna expire because they're not gonna pick it up, because they know they have 5 seconds left. They're just gonna stand around for it. What incentive do they have to let you have another possession? They don't. What are you doing?
I mean, from my perspective, like from a math perspective, I think it makes sense. Because I think if you look at like, A, what are your odds of winning the game if you block the punt, versus B, what are your odds of winning the game if you fair catch the punt or return the punt? If you go between those two, it's going to be so much higher if you block the punt, right? And so what you're saying, I think, you know, from a game plan perspective, there is the way we win this game is by blocking this punt. So we might as well have as many guys as possible doing that. You know, because you're in a position there, right, where it's a very, very low chance you'll win the game at all.
Yeah.
So I like it when there's like a situation like that, and the coach goes not with necessarily like trying to like weigh percents and everything, but just say like, this is how we win. You know, either we'll execute this or we won't. But you know, if we don't, then we're screwed anyway.
I wish we had like FCS stats for like win probability. But the punt block wasn't even close.
No, and I think that's the part that like drives me
insane. That hurts the most. It's just like,
that's the part that makes me go full Herm Edwards of you play to win the game. It didn't feel like they were doing that in that moment.
They did not have like any. I mean, like really, like the punter, all you got to do is like one step, boom, gone, and there's no returning back. Yeah. So the punter's not going to try to like, make sure like, or even if you put a returner back, the punter probably could have just booted the crap out of bounds, or try to angle it towards the sideline or whatever. But
right, even like 2 seconds is more seconds than you had.
I feel it feels like you have that bitter aftertaste. It's like I gotta swallow like the loss on that, where there's nobody there for Montana State, and it's just like just watching the clock go. It's just so unsatisfying. It's like,
well, and that's the frustrating part for me, is that they didn't have to be in that position. Like, give like a couple things go differently in the first half. They're not in that position.
No.
Like it's a completely different game. Even if they're still playing from behind, you're still not like 5 seconds block the punt with everything that you have. Like you have maybe the option to have a returner back there. But if you're going all in on we're gonna block the punt, I don't know.
I was next to a gentleman up on the concourse for a bit who was very drunk and screaming, "Run the fucking ball" at Montana State over and over again. And he wasn't wrong. Like, he wasn't wrong at all. He was being belligerent about it, but he wasn't wrong. Hey, Beth.
I mean, he's a Montana State fan. Of course he's belligerent.
Wild Pitch has a sushi menu.
Oh.
The thing that's killing me is guests under 21 allowed with their parent or legal guardian until 7 p.m. 21 plus after 7 p.m.
Oh. Folks, when they described this as a sleazier version of Hooters, I thought they were joking for the most part.
Oh, no. It is.
I did drop some pictures that echo this.
I'm pretty sure I know where at least the girl in the middle in the last picture purchased that bodysuit.
There you go.
I like it.
It's
says
literal lingerie.
It says artisan sushi rolls, Frisco only.
Hey,
So
Jordan.
you have two locations.
Okay.
Yes,
Jordan,
here in Frisco.
I think I finally figured out why your Instagram ads are a little horny.
That might be it. That might be it. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you hadn't already ruined your algorithm, this is not going to help, my dude.
It's not going to help. Been a clear search history.
The heart wants what it wants.
It's artisan sushi rolls served by people in lingerie.
I literally, you guys watched me do it. I pushed my microphone out of the way so that I could get very close to the one picture to try to see how the pair of jeans were constructed. Because it looked like it was shoelaces, and yes, it was shoelaces.
Yeah, we've all been making faces that are just like
they have sashimi too, in case you don't want the sushi. They offer sashimi as well.
Wait. What are we talking here? Like, do we got some like otoro or
it's gonna taste like Axe body spray no matter what?
Salmon, tuna tataki, and a sashimi combo. I assume they don't have like an omakase. Like I assume you don't sit there and ask the sushi chef to whatever he would like.
Can I get
your finest?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wait till you see what the sushi chef is wearing.
Sashimi.
Are they one of the ones that people wish were wearing pants, but not the server?
Got it. I hope. Yeah.
That was probably what that review was referring to. Yeah.
What are you wearing? A seaweed wrap? Why?
It's tasteful.
Some good news for Big Sky, though. They have extended their ESPN media rights deal. Nice. Which means that we don't talk a ton about this kind of stuff, but I do want to mention it because that means next year, until 2029, 2030, we're going to get a minimum of 4 regular season football games on Friday or Saturday nights on ESPN or ESPN2, like on like an actual network.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and there's a clause in there too that says that 2 of the games don't have to be Montana or Montana State.
I mean, that's
so basically you get the rest of the conference too, which is good. To give more exposure to the rest of the programs. I would love to see like Holt Arena at night. Like I don't know. It feels like the Holt Arena never does a night game. Like a Friday night Holt Arena Pocatello. That'd be great. That'd be great. I mean, like Portland State with their field is hilarious. It's like the multi-sport field. Good stuff. But I mean, they give, or maybe even a late night Red Field in Cheney. That
that would be.
Oh man, that's Friday
gonna be
night
a challenge to light, dude.
Oh man, they do play at night.
Just nightmares, nightmare shit.
Yeah, I would. God, I love when that's my favorite. Like, you know, we're just like rolling through the day, and we're getting towards the end of the day, and it's on Saturday, and it's like, oh, Eastern Washington's playing at home, and I'm like, oh, Red Field highlights, let's go. Like, just shake everybody up.
Commish, I do want to mention, because we talked about maybe trying to pull a doubleheader in terms of going to Moscow and Pullman. I didn't realize how close Sac State and UC Davis are.
They're pretty close.
Only about 20 miles apart.
Yeah, very close.
So another possible double there.
Yeah, that'd be good if they, if they both have home games. That's a possibility. Like Cal Poly's like way out of the way of everything.
Yeah, Cal Poly's all by itself.
Yeah, and they're like, "Are you gonna come visit Cal Poly?" I'm like, I don't even know how to. Like, Moscow seems a little bit easier, a little bit, but again, I don't even know where to fly in for Cal Poly. I'm like, tell me then I got to drive like 3 hours from whatever location. I don't even know if they have.
Yeah, you'd fly into LAX or Santa Barbara, depending on how long you want that drive to be.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a drive.
To St. Louis Obispo, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
it's gorgeous driving up that way. Like I definitely say, if you want like a trip, definitely drive to SLO. Go up the one. Like it's gorgeous. But
don't go up the one right now, especially if you're coming from LA.
Oh no. I really hope everyone is staying safe down there.
The Getty Villa apparently was having some of its buildings singed as well, which makes me very twitchy.
Yeah.
Also, the Big Sky Conference went to go visit the Big 12 conference, which, Commish, you posited that all the big conferences are related, and now
the Big Sky like did this. Like they quoted it, said visiting cousin Big 12 today.
Oh, that's right.
And so I'm like, I quoted, I was like, are all these big conferences all related? Like, are they all related? And so I got to wondering, I'm like, do I have to do like a conference family tree or something to trace it back?
Are they all cousins?
I don't know.
Or it's like you get the grandma who's like, well, I imagine that like you've got like, the NCAA with all of with all of these cousins, and like the Big Ten is the one that became the really big investment banker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That still manages to get the nice Christmas presents.
I wonder if I could do a timeline of these
the Big
conferences.
West is still out there trying to find itself.
Totally. And like the Big South is like hanging out with the Ohio Valley for some odd reason. In their alliance.
Big East got a divorce a while back. Things still haven't really normalized.
The Big East is like fine.
The Big East joined an ashram, and we haven't heard anything in a while.
The Big East is like the movie Coco, where it's like no football. We don't talk about football. Like no football in this house. Just basketball. Big East basketball only.
What I want to know is that in the course of conference realignment, are we going to get a conference that is, as the song posited, its own grandpa?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to have to do a timeline of this. Like, I need to put this in the
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
There are no D2 or D3 conferences that call themselves big anything, and that's unfortunate.
Well, they're probably, there was some conferences that were like the little, for like in like the 1920s. They were like,
there was the little 8 or something. Yeah.
The little Ohio conference or something. Little Ohio.
They're still a little East.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just a little guy. They're just a small little conference.
This is a small little conference.
Guy. Other things. We have the city game is back, and we'll talk to Pit Girl also if she gets back on this one. But next year,
Arthur's
Duquesne is at Pitt. Duquesne's coming off the bluff to Acrisure. And I said that this should be a home and home.
Yes.
Sure, play one in Acrisure, absolutely. But you got to make that return trip. It's a closer drive for Pitt students.
It's a walk.
It is a block. It's like right there, Rooney Field.
Oh no! God,
Rooney Field.
I didn't think you'd want to walk, but you sure could.
Oh God, yes. Rooney Field's the one with the giant tower dorm overlooking the field, right?
Yeah.
And you need that for seating. You would need that for seating because Rooney Field sits about 2,200 at this point.
Yeah, it used to be 4,000, but they like cut it in half.
Well, because they got rid of some of the ugly bleachers and just used the stone stands because they weren't filling them anyways, if I remember correctly. And it looks better as you walk past the campus. Arthur, tell me what Hate Week is going to look like here, because I assume there's going to be lots of Hate Week activities, burning of effigies and whatnot.
No.
Arthur's like, I'm not playing along with this. No, that's fine.
I mean, like,
great improv partner, Arthur. Thank you.
Well, I don't.
No, but.
No, it's not even a but. It's just a no.
No.
I didn't say but. I mean, here, I'll say something. So, like, I mean, like, it's Pittsburgh. Like, I don't know that people are really going to be that into it, especially because these teams haven't played in football in so long for a reason. Like, it's not like Duquesne has even had a football team for that whole time. So, it'll be cool to see, save on travel.
I want to see Pitt students taunting Duquesne students for their slavish adherence to all having the same ring, like they're members of the Green Lantern thing. Like you all have ring pops.
Beth, these teams have played 8 times in history. I want you to guess the record.
4-4.
5-3.
Damn it.
Real close. Duquesne won the last one and beat them 21-13. I'm going to claim that was so bad that Pitt just refused to play them ever again. Beat their asses.
Was it 1939 last game?
1939. Nothing. Okay. The most interesting thing that happened in 1939.
Yes.
You want to know something fun? Look up the poll rankings for those teams in that game.
Oh, I don't even want to know. Was it really good? Hold up. Oh, good. There was an AP poll that time.
No.
Duquesne is definitely ranked.
No, Duquesne has been ranked. The AP poll started in 36.
Yeah, so Duquesne was ranked. Yeah.
Oh, they beat number 1 Pitt.
Oh, Pitt girl's not even here to defend herself. When she listens, she'll be screaming at this.
Also,
she's so mad.
She'll be screaming at this part.
Because of the times around the AP poll. At that point, Duquesne beat the number 1 team. They must be really good. So Duquesne got ranked. That was how Duquesne got ranked in the AP poll.
This was an 8-0-1.
Yeah, and they finished this season with a tie at the Detroit Titans.
Big wins over, let's see here. Texas Tech went to Duquesne. Hey, Commish, I need you to jot that down. We got to look into that game. 1939, Texas Tech traveled to Forbes Field in Pittsburgh.
So did North Carolina State.
You
on the 11th of November.
That might be a train. That might be a train trip.
You know who else played Texas Tech in 1939?
Who?
Centenary.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit, yeah. That's the game. That's the year.
That is okay. The 1939 Texas Tech Red Raiders football team. They started the year at. Okay, I'm gonna have to write an article on this team.
Yeah, this is gonna be real good.
They started the year at UTEP, which was Texas Mines. They lost 7-2. They only scored a safety.
God, I love this team.
They played Gonzaga. They played NAU, which was Arizona State Flagstaff at the time. New Mexico, Duquesne, number 11 Duquesne at Forbes
Went to
Field.
Duquesne.
Went to Duquesne. Went to Miami.
Next week.
And then they played at Centenary in the infamous 77 punt game.
Oh my God.
They played Marquette, Montana, and then they went to Loyola in New Orleans.
Montana went to Lubbock.
Yes. I'm gonna have to write something on this team. This is
so good.
That has to be a train trip.
God.
Yeah.
So good.
If we had existed back then.
Oh my God.
And had enough money and the end of the Great Depression to do anything about it. I would have quit my job, changed my name, and just followed this team around like a groupie.
Do you know what their final record was?
What was it?
5-5-1.
Oh, perfectly balanced.
Like perfectly sickos.
That's all things should be.
The base defense was a 6-2.
Hell yeah, it was.
God, I can feel the off-season vibes just happening for us.
Oh my God, it's coming. Here we go.
Happy.
I'm loading stuff into the. Oh my God, off-season is going to be a lot of fun.
Other fun things. Grayson McCall, Coastal Carolina quarterback, transferred to North Carolina State, decided he no longer liked being hit. Is now an offensive analyst at Coastal Carolina. He's going back, which is a great choice.
Well, the doctor said he shouldn't play anymore.
I know. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. He didn't like being hit.
Well, I mean,
I also didn't like being hit. I stopped playing football very early.
I mean, it's like when Homer ducked a cannonball, the last one. It's he didn't want to, he had to take care of his family, so that's why he's going to be an analyst, and he still pisses teal as an analyst, though.
So the workroom for photographers was at the FCS title game was in the same area as where North Texas SCFC, whatever the USL team is, whatever they play in Frisco, their locker room. And I did get a new piss chart. I did walk into the bathroom. I saw a piss chart over the urinal, and I was like, "Camera out, click."
Because it was so good. It was so good.
Got a congratulations at the very top. The bottom was "You're gonna die if your piss is this color."
Yeah, I was seek help immediately.
Seek help immediately. You are.
It was great.
Someone in our comments was like, if you're taking vitamin B, then none of this works. It's like, yeah, that's right, because you just piss highlighter. That really is unpleasant. There is also, from Reddit user GUTDU has figured out that if Penn State wins the CFB National Championship, Oregon's still going to be ranked number 1 in the Colley Matrix, which means they can claim the title.
Hang the banner.
Name it and claim it.
Yep.
We always say on this committee that if you have Arthur, no, sir. If you can claim a national title, you claim the goddamn national title. UCF's title is legit.
Who's going to stop you?
UCF. Yeah.
I feel like you can't get your first one like that. Like, once you have national titles, then you can be like, yeah, like, we're bumping this count up a bit. I feel like if it's your first one, then...
So if Oregon wins one, can they back claim this one?
Yes, that's how it works.
That's how it works.
Okay, that's fine.
Claimed way in the past or way in the future.
Okay. So Oregon, put a pin in this one if this happens. If Penn State wins the national title game, this podcast is going to be like half inconsolable for a while.
Do we have to have Danger on just to yell at us?
No, if Penn State wins the national title, we're just going to give Oregon the title and not pay attention to the...
Oh, that would be good.
I think if Penn State wins the national championship, that just shows that it wasn't a big game.
It wasn't.
So why should we pay attention?
That's exactly right, Arthur.
That's right. Oregon won the title. The Big Ten championship was the big game. It had the word "big" in it.
I mean, I think, frankly, if that happens, we need to pull up our watch a video in the off season. We'll just, I don't know, watch Time Cop again.
If Penn State gets dog walked in either of the 2 next games, even if they don't, I'm going to take the video of their press box being demoed, and I will draw little hands and feet on it, like some of those great gifs of like collapsing buildings that are sad. And I will do that. I
am sorry that I didn't go to that. I was invited to go, but I went to the farm show instead.
Probably a better choice.
I couldn't get milkshakes at the Penn State demo. I was going to have to go to the creamery, and that's too far to drive.
And one of the last bits of news we have, we'll say, is that it's official as of today, January 7th, Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois. DeKalb, I believe.
Oh, I don't know. I get the Georgia one confused.
Because
isn't it DeKalb?
It's DeKalb in Georgia, and it's DeKalb in.
I think the Illinois one is DeKalb, but
DeKalb.
No, in Georgia it's DeKalb. It's DeKalb.
Yeah, and then like Illinois is different.
DeKalb.
Okay. DeKalb.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's DeKalb.
DeKalb. Yeah.
They will be joining the Mountain West as a football-only member.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of their sports are still TBD. I've heard a couple of things, but I'm not going to say them because I don't know for sure yet. But there's a lot of conferences nearby. Horizon, Missouri Valley, Summit, Ohio Athletic.
Yeah, there's a bunch where they could park, but they still have 2 years to figure that out. Well, actually, no. The end of 2026. So
yes.
Technically 2 years. I have no idea exactly. Linear time was a mistake. I am Pit Girl today.
I have decided that, but to celebrate this today for the first time, I didn't know if it was too subtle of a joke. I put out a picture of the visitor center at Northern Illinois, their stadium, but photoshopped a picture of the Himalayas in the background to celebrate their entrance to the Mountain West. And people liked it, so I'm just going to make that my Northern Illinois thing. Every time I get a picture of their stadium or anything, I'm just going to Photoshop the Himalayas in the background.
There were people posting below with like actual different photos of the stadium and surroundings, and you could use those.
Yeah.
Can you start just putting the Himalayas in the background of every Mountain West team, like behind their existing mountains?
Hawaii,
yeah, absolutely. How long it takes for people to notice?
I mean, we some of our followers would notice. Like we have some folks that are very, very observant.
No, that's not smart. It's going to make them really annoyed. Commish, you did figure out.
Yes.
What the highest point in Illinois is. What is it?
It is called the highest mountain or hill in Illinois. Is called Charles Mound.
That sounds like a dude's name.
He's my insurance adjuster.
He's on TNT.
Everybody, Beth, can you do me a favor and read the first sentence on the Wikipedia of Charles Mound?
Charles Mound is a gentle 1,235 foot. That's 376-meter, high hill located in Scales Mound Township, Joe Daviess County,
That was a lot of S's.
Illinois, United States.
That's not high at all, y'all. That's real low, in fact.
I'm in a valley, and that the highest point in Illinois is the same elevation as I am in a valley.
I'm going to say the highest point in the state of Illinois is actually the Willis Tower, which is formerly known as the Sears Tower, because that's 1,451 feet tall. So
it is at the confluence of the Mississippi and Ohio rivers. I didn't realize Illinois was that flat.
No, I mean it just doesn't go that high up. I don't know. I feel like you guys are getting all cut up on the mountain part and not on the west part, because like Northern Illinois, one of the closest schools to Northwestern.
It's in the Western Hemisphere.
It counts.
Yeah, it's also in the Northern Hemisphere.
It's west of me.
Yeah. No, actually, I think it's kind of funny. Like, not that like I'm not a fan of a lot of realignment that happens. But I think it's funny to see people getting like especially caught up about this one, because this isn't even the first time Northern Illinois has left the MAC.
No, they've done this before.
Yeah.
And do you know what conference they were in before they were in the MAC this most recent time?
I don't know.
Well, I'm bringing it up for a reason. It was the Big West. They were only football members, which is the same relationship that they're going to have with the Mound West. Mm-hmm. So they're actually reuniting with several schools, such as Nevada, UNLV, San Jose State. So it's not like, I know that, and they've been in the MAC like my entire lifetime. So I know, like, for someone who doesn't know about stuff before that, it might seem weird that they're going over the Mountain West, but I mean, it isn't even new.
No.
Do we know for sure if they're doing this entirely so their student population can just sleep in, like get a little bit more sleep before games?
Would be nice. I mean,
so that's one thing for Northern Illinois. There's a couple of different benefits to this. I'll say this. Not every school is built to do the Maction thing. And really the Mountain West has like TV deals, which again is going to be more money for Northern Illinois than the MAC deal, but they don't have to play Tuesday, Wednesday games. They will play Friday and Saturday games. Also, the travel doesn't seem like it'd be too bad because they've done it before, and they're really like 60 miles away from O'Hare Airport.
As football only, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm being really honest with you here, I am way less bitchy about football only choices because football only limits a lot of things. It's when you bring everything, like even the Callan Stanford thing, which is stupid on its cover. If it were football only, I would have way fewer problems. It's when we start having to bring along like the lacrosse team and the field hockey team, that's when I get into this.
Yeah, that's the thing here, because I know it gets the Mountain West to 9 football playing members. They will all have 4 home games and 4 away games. So that's perfect for every single one of them. They'll all play 8 conference games. It'll be balanced. Chicago, there's flights to Hawaii all the time. So like this is not going to be a problem travel wise. Like Chicago to El Paso, like Chicago destination wise will go to every single Mountain West city airport wise. So I can see how it makes sense. It's a weird one though, because it's like, okay, why is Northern Illinois doing this? Leaving the MAC. Now the MAC added UMass. So I mean, really the MAC is still going to stay at 12 members. So it's basically the MAC, just their geographic center just got pulled a little bit more east. And
the MAC has also been very clear that they do not want the rest of NIU sports. If NIU's leaving, they're fucking out. We're not going to sit here and babysit your other sports.
NIU was like, like they already knew that, and so if they park their non-revenue sports in like the Summit League, or like the Ohio Valley or the Horizon, there's I mean, lot less travel there on their team.
NIU could actually end up cutting travel like net from this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
depending on,
especially like now all the MAC, because UMass is like a full member. So all those teams would have to go into Amherst. I mean, even right now going
Buffalo.
going to Buffalo, that's a long trip. I mean, like NIU wasn't super in the MAC footprint. Like it was by far the furthest west school, and like even just getting to like Ball State is kind of a drive. So yeah, I mean, of all of the realignment moves we've seen recently, this is one of the less like
egregious.
Yeah.
I think it feels weird for like everybody just on its face. But if you start to break it down and think about it like we did, it's like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Don't let the conference names mean anything because they don't anymore. The Atlantic Coast Conference has teams on the Pacific, and in
Dallas. We just all call them all colors now. The red conference, the blue conference, the green conference, and just divorced ourselves from the idea that they actually had geographic names.
I mean, I think the SEC still works for the most part.
I'm joining the big up.
Oklahoma, famously southeast.
Close enough. It's touching Arkansas.
Arkansas, famously southeast.
I would credit it.
Even Arkansas, I feel is like adjacent, but whatever.
Okay.
That's fine.
But I mean, it's just like you're like stretching
Missouri, both south and east.
Missouri's probably a weirder one, honestly.
St. Louis, I'll give it to you. But like the rest of the state, I don't know about that. That's tough.
I do want to say off this list real fast of the highest points in states that the lower the point is, the wilder shit you call it. Like DC's is called Point Reno. Delaware's is, quote, near the Albright Azimuth. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're calling your shit Hill, Azimuth, Mound,
what's
Point,
the one in Louisiana? The one in Louisiana is like only 300 feet, I think.
800 feet. No, it is 535 feet. Driscoll Mountain.
Okay.
A pile of rocks.
A pile of rocks. Yeah, I was like, okay.
I feel like some of these states, like you could take the crown,
Oh, just by building something in your backyard? Yeah. You totally could. I mean, yes, because some of these...
The new highest point in Louisiana is something called My Humps.
My Humps Peaks 1 and 2. Fergie.
That's the Twin Peaks.
Yeah, what is the prominence of your humps?
I don't know. I can't speak about prominence, but I do know that they'll get you drunk.
That's right. Love drunk off those humps.
Quote.
I do love also, if you sort by lowest point, there's 3 that are just sea level.
I mean, man, I grew up...
Oh, more than that, shit. Sorry, never. There's more than 3.
There's more than 3 states that border the ocean, yes.
Like, I grew up in New Orleans, man. I've been below sea level my entire life. Just like, whatever. It's weird.
Here's a fun question for you. What state do you think has the highest lowest point?
I'm going to say Idaho.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go.
Is it Montana?
Wyoming? It's Colorado.
Colorado.
It's actually at the Kansas border.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
Colorado is basically a ramp, so
yeah, it is.
Well, that part is basically Kansas anyway. Like that doesn't count.
Yeah, Wyoming's lowest point is at the South Dakota border.
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico's lowest.
Is it outside of Wheatland?
It just says Belfouche River.
Belfouche.
Fouche. Okay, I was gonna go with the Louisiana pronunciation.
No, there's a South Dakota town also called Belfouche.
Okay, yeah, it's Fouche because there's Lafourche Parish in Louisiana.
Before we preview the semifinal games and before we do our ad read, there's one more thing we need to say. Aston Jeanty, he is declared for the NFL draft. Salute. Go get your paycheck. Enjoy. It was a hell of a season, man.
I'm not looking forward to like NFL draft people like breaking down his measurables.
No,
don't watch it. I don't watch this shit.
I'm not looking for like. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna go to the combine or something like that, but I'm not looking forward to like. Well, he's like, here's his height and here's his weight. Can he take the beating of the NFL? And is he physical enough? And can he? I mean, like, I'm not looking forward to that. But I'm happy he had this year, which is a record-setting year, second most rushing yards all time in a Division I year. Fantastic year, phenomenal year. I mean, Boise's going to look a whole lot different next year, I think, unless they have like another a Gene T.
They just have a closet full of clones.
Like their quarterback has like all those brothers that start with M. I don't know if there was like another Gene T there, but I look forward to see where he goes.
Somebody do like a version of the Pop-Tart commercial where they're running around. They're like, jeans, they come in pairs.
They come in pairs. Gene T's, they come in pairs.
I'm looking to apply to Wild Pitch, by the way, and they have 3 options here: kitchen and support, management, or all-stars. I feel like I'm an all-star, so I feel like that's where they do want my TikTok and Instagram accounts, though.
Hey, now you are an all-star.
I was going to say, get your game on and go play, Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Folks,
to apply, you have to give them your social media.
You don't have to. It's suggested.
Okay. It's suggested.
You might have most followers.
I might.
You maybe do, especially after that Tubby video.
I start dropping thirst traps. We'll see what happens.
You already dropped the thirst trap. It is called the Tubby picture.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, he's so beautiful. Folks, our ad read goes here. Commish is continuing to mail out stickers from our food drive if you sent us your information.
It's all right. I got I think it was a total of like 150. So 90 have made it to the mail. I have the labels printed for the remaining 60. And then I just need to I have envelopes. I got to stamp them and label them, and then just should be out by the end of this week, hopefully.
Sounds good. As always, check out our link tree on our Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky profiles for various discounts. Check out our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our Discord, where you can find us and a bunch of fellow like-minded sickos talking about all sorts of shit, including football and just as often, literally anything else. Folks have already been on the Discord, have found some other rooms as well that they enjoy. Lots of folks in our Canimals room, which is talking about food and animals and other things. Our Conversation Pit, which is where we just talk about whatever. And then always my favorite, Live Events Hollerin', where any hour of the day you can find someone screaming about sports. Doesn't matter what it is.
So, I mean, basically, if there's a sporting event on, no matter what it is, like somebody's probably in that room with you watching that. And if they're not, they'll peek their head in the room and they'll likely join you, whatever you're watching. Whether it was the darts championship, whether it's like random EPL soccer, whether it's, like anything at any time during the day and night. I mean, maybe not at like 3 a.m., but who knows? Maybe I don't stay up that late.
Christmas carols, anything.
Yeah.
I need to find, I haven't watched Kabaddi in a long time. We really got to get back into that. That one was fun. That's the game that's played in India that's like Red Rover, but more full contact. I'm very excited about this. Other things, of course, our merch store, over 50 items in the store at sickoscommittee.org. We're probably going to do a big refresh at some point, maybe pull some things that are sung as well. So if you like something in there, grab it now, and then we will start adding things as we get closer to the summer. Hey, Beth, I am working on that Notre Dame School of Polyphony shirt. So you'll have that pretty soon. Yeah, I know. Also, I do really want to do some band shirts for this summer, so we'll get there.
Okay.
Let the band play neck.
Mm-hmm. We have our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitch that we're going to start bringing up more and more as I figure out how to actually use it. Our Substack, which we're also going to be growing more and more as we write more fun things. And shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go the places we refuse to go. And lastly, as always, Home Field Apparel for the softest, comfiest, collegiate, officially licensed apparel. Right now, we're wearing Colorado School of Mines, Furman, Go Cats. Yep, I've got on a UCLA shirt that I love with little Joe Bruin standing up being awesome. And folks, always use our link code and our offer code, yes, yes, 3 ha's, for 15% off your first order. My friend that went to the game with me, to the Mail Bowl with me, he and I were sitting in the car with Katie, and my friend was complaining about how podcasts always have too many offer codes and things like that, and she skips through them. And I go, well, if you want very soft, comfy apparel, use offer code, yes. And Katie from the backseat goes, it's 3 ha's. Thank you, Katie. Perfect brand synergy.
There you go.
So, of course, because it's the only thing left, we have to talk about the college football semifinals. Yay!
Playoffs.
And we can talk about them in as little or as much detail as possible. We're going to get knocked off track here. It's fine, folks.
Yeah.
Just get used to this.
Ain't no tracks, ain't no rails.
No.
Get rounding into that off-season form.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we all deeply care about Notre Dame versus Penn State at 6:30 p.m. Central on Thursday.
In the Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl?
Orange Bowl.
It's
Bowl.
It's not in the Orange Bowl. I wish it were in the Orange Bowl. That would make this game way more fun than in Joe Robbie Pro Landshark Stadium.
Hard Rock, right? Is it Hard Rock still?
Pro Hard Rock.
It's Hard Rock, yeah, because it's the Miami, because that's where they hold the F1 race that sucks.
Well, I know, but is that the actual name right now? Is it actually Hard Rock right now?
It's still Hard Rock. I think Hard Rock is up there now in terms of like longest.
Yeah, longest sponsor.
Yeah, it hasn't been Landshark for at least like 10 years.
Landshark was only like a year, I think. And
yeah, it was very short.
That was the
Jimmy Buffett beer.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Jimmy Buffett's beer.
R.I.P. Jimmy.
Gone too soon.
Oh, that's right. He did die. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
he was also a Christmas baby, which always made for good jokes about like born on this day.
I do want to mention that after it was Sun Life. After it was Sun Life Stadium for 6 years, for just a few months, it was called New Miami Stadium. But this was in 2016. The stadium opened in 1987.
They renovated it, though.
I still wouldn't call it new, but okay. And then, yes, Hard Rock.
I wanted to believe that they founded a New Miami. Just like,
that's like old Miami. That's like New Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
I was
in
also
Miami.
going to say it's a Ship of Theseus Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Soldier Field. Soldier Field is the fucking Ship of Theseus, because that thing has been torn down so many times. It is nothing like the original. I think part of the facade is original Soldier Field, but nothing else is. But they still call it Soldier Field.
The Ship of Theseus.
I mean, Soldier Field got stripped of its historical landmark status because they changed it too much.
Yeah.
I want to say, just looking at the Wikipedia of Hard Rock Stadium, 3 films have been shot at the stadium.
Ooh, I bet you can name one of them.
Okay, go ahead.
Ace Ventura.
Okay, yes. Jim Carrey and Dan Marino as himself. All right.
I remember that.
2 more.
Okay. Was Any Given Sunday shot there?
Yes, that's number 2. That was Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino, directed by Oliver Stone. Then in 2008, another film was filmed at Hard Rock Stadium.
I have no clue.
Anybody's got any guesses?
It's not The Replacements.
No.
It's too early for Dark Knight Rises.
That was Pittsburgh.
Right,
Pittsburgh.
but like...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
It's come up. It's back. It's Marley and Me.
It is. It's Marley and Me.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Spoiler alert, the dog does die.
Yeah, that's like the banner on like, does the dog die? It's Marley and Me, of course.
Put the poster of Marley and Me back in the podcast chat right now.
My God.
I hope that's not the movie we end up watching this year.
No,
I suggested Samurai Cop. I can suggest many more.
God,
before we
we're
even get
gonna
close
do that.
to
Let's
Marley
just
and
watch
Me.
the first 10 minutes of Up on loop.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We could do. We're doing sudden
Watch
death.
the end of Coco.
Yeah, I want to do sudden death.
No more
I want to do the Pittsburgh. I want to do the Pittsburgh Jehovah Van Damme movie.
Let's do it. It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme's Die Hard involving hockey and stuff. Yeah, let's do that one.
Oh yeah, you got
to we could do like the Pennsylvania hockey duology and watch that in Slapshot in an evening.
Oh, I do love Slapshot.
Oh my God.
I do love Slapshot. So Notre Dame versus Penn State. Beth, how are you feeling about this one? Crunch some X's and O's for me, Beth.
Oh my God, no! I refuse. I won't. You cannot make me.
Beth, just toss it up to Channel 6. They did a really good write-up on it.
Great. I'm so I hate this.
I know you prefer Notre Dame to win this, but it's marginal at best.
God, like I have hives thinking about it. There's no good outcome for this game for me. This is just like the forces of darkness and evil have won every possible playoff game so far, and I'm just sad.
I feel like this is one that I'm actually kind of interested in now.
Okay.
Not
Why?
because I'm like really invested in either team, but like there's enough about these teams that I can't figure out, you know? Like Penn State, probably pretty good. You know, they've lost twice this year to teams that were also really good. I honestly wouldn't say that Notre Dame is better than those two teams that they've lost to, which are Oregon and Ohio State. But yeah, I mean, so like Penn State kind of feels like a question mark. And then Notre Dame, I'm going to be honest, like I know that they won comfortably in the Sugar Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like, oh, like here they go, you know, they're cooking now. Like they scored most of their points right around halftime with a kick return touchdown and a touchdown set up by a turnover where they only had to go one play, like 13 yards.
Yeah.
So like the offense never really looked great. I mean, the defense, like they played really well, but like Georgia also was with a backup quarterback and they didn't look great themselves. And I mean, so like Notre Dame and Penn State, like I just feel like they're such big question marks that I'm kind of intrigued.
The main thing for me in this game, and it's going to be the lines, I think. And this is one of those games where like the D line versus the O line, like who wins that battle? This is one of these games where, I mean, I really don't pay much attention, or I really don't know too much about their talent on like the skill positions, like the running back. Like I know the quarterbacks, like both quarterbacks, Aller and Riley Leonard. I know that I know like Notre Dame's got really good stable running backs, like 3 of them. And then Penn State's got 2 rushers that are over 1,000 yards also. So it's like, okay, who can basically control the line of scrimmage? And I don't know. Now I know Abdul Carter is trying to get healthy for this game with D lineman from Penn State, and that's
they've been holding that very close to the chest.
Yeah, but Notre Dame lost like their star lineman in the game against Indiana, but they held up really well against Georgia. So it's just like, okay. So for me, that's like, I'm not a big lineman person. Like, I don't know what you need to do to be good at being a lineman. Like like the hand fighting or the technique or all that stuff. When they try to run the ball, I don't know like what they got to do, but all I know is like I feel like the game is there.
Commish, I need you to look at how much blue there is on Parker at Stats of War's chart. I dropped it in the podcast thread.
Yeah, there's incredible.
There's so much blue here. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, it's too much blue. And then the win probability, like Parker, it's like 49.22. And then 50.78. It's an incredible coin flip. The projected points is basically like 0.15 away from each other. Like Penn State slightly favored.
Hold up.
I'm sorry, 0.25?
No, hold up. No, I'm trying to find a coin flip.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. Okay. No, can't find it. Oh, hey, Beth, I do have something here, though, for you.
They're covering me. Oh, my God. They're covering me.
They're covering me in mayo. Love it.
It's here forever now.
It's here forever now. It's made. It was great. No, that's the PJ Flex sound, which is awesome. If you've watched that video, I've watched it a few times. It's great. Well, we haven't released it yet, but you'll probably watch it. We'll watch it tomorrow morning.
Look, it's Beth at Christmas.
They're covering me in mayo. But yeah, look, I man, like Notre Dame has got the net field position here, and then I'm looking at Penn State. They don't have the net field position. So is this going to be that stupid field position game that we're going to get?
It very much could be. Penn State is ever so slightly worse on field position. That's starting field position. That's about it.
Yeah, there's a little bit difference. The defensive success rate against rushing is not as good for Notre Dame, but like the offensive success rate for rushing. I don't know. Like Notre Dame's offense doesn't seem as good as Penn State's, according to this chart, but it's like
according to my eyes too. Like I don't need the chart to tell me that. I have eyes as well. I've watched at least part of both of Penn State's losses this year. And unfortunately, one of the teams that absolutely, bodied them got bounced last week. So I'm no longer sure about them. I thought Oregon was the best team in the country. Like full stop. I was sure of this. And they very much were not. So I don't know what to tell you.
They're still going to be the national champions, if Penn State wins it. So,
That right there is just yikes.
I don't feel strongly one way or another here. If like Drew Aller hits when he opened up against Boise State, he hit big pass plays in tight windows and got some big throws, but then in the rest of the game he really couldn't do much except just throw it up to your all-world tight end Tyler Warren. I think Notre Dame has somebody, maybe last name Watts, that I don't know if he's going to be matched up against Tyler Warren, but it seemed like when Penn State couldn't do anything, it was just get the ball to Tyler Warren.
Yes.
Which Bowling Green would do the same thing. It was hey, let's get it to Harold Fannin Jr. Man, this is going to be an ugly chess match. This is going to be that helmet matchup from Bill Walsh, College Football 1994, that didn't have the licenses for everybody to use the helmets. It's going to be
Central Pennsylvania State University versus
versus South Bend. They didn't even get the name Notre Dame. It was just South Bend.
Notre Pair. That might be too close.
I mean, does anybody have any strong feelings on either team, or you're just I don't know, I'm just gonna watch it?
I would prefer, if I'm talking about just sheer preference, I would prefer Notre Dame to win this because
Go
ahead.
Well, my thing is, I am neutral on Notre Dame as an institution. I'm neutral on their fans. I'm negative on how they're constantly ranked, even in years when maybe they don't need to be ranked.
Yes.
But I will say that Marcus Freeman is a very good human and really wants to do right by his players. After the terrible attack in New Orleans, he gave the players time to go visit their families when they were preparing for the game, which I thought was a very big thing for him to do. So he seems like a really good human. And that's where it goes for me, because I don't care about either of these teams. I'm completely apathetic to both. So
that's the thing for me, is that this feels so I have one other interest, and that's who can Texas beat in the final if we need to get there.
Oh my God.
Right. And so if that's the case, I would prefer Notre Dame probably for Texas. I think it's a slightly better matchup.
Okay, so I want you to make the case for how Texas can beat Penn State. Elevator pitch.
I think it's Quinn Ewers bullshit. Quinn Ewers has a blackout night. That's how any Texas win is going to have to be, because the other thing is that Texas is very good about stopping chunk plays. Texas is very good about making sure that you're not going to rip off a 30-yarder or a 40-yarder. Texas was going to make you fight for every fucking inch. Now, I will say that having a tight end that can get open every time is very bad for Texas's plan, because he is very good about making sure that he gets those just 6-7 yards and just eats them alive. Georgia did this to Texas several times. Georgia just marched down the field and it would not let, going 3 and out against Texas is standard for a lot of teams. Georgia was not going 3 and out. And so that's what worries me the most about that. I think that, I don't know. This is one of those games where the old heads are just so happy about this, because this is the blue bloods of college football. This is the finest teams of exactly right. And
an old school matchup between
it's a slobber knocker. They play real football up in
blue bloods, harkening back to the days of the 70s and
of the 4 horsemen of Notre Dame. Rah. Right, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, now, this is the, I mean, look, my Uncle Ron is a huge Notre Dame fan. I mean, I grew up in New Orleans, going to an all boys Catholic high school associated with the Notre Dame Seminary. We had the stupid colors. We had the stupid helmets. We had the stupid, like, interlocking letters. We had the stupid fight song. I just, Shakedown and Thunder. Oh my God, I hate it. But it's just like, you went to high school there and you never want to go back or attend a high school reunion or whatever. Like, why would I do that to myself? Penn State. My dad's from Pittsburgh. No love for Penn State whatsoever. Like, doesn't like Penn State at all. Not a big fan. My aunt did go to Penn State on that side. My other aunt did not. And then my dad, again, weird. Went to Dayton, moved to Miami. So, I mean, but that was a little bit different. And the game's being played there. So, do we know who's going to wear the home uniforms? Like, who's got the navy blue jersey? Like, is it Penn State or is it Notre Dame here?
Higher seeds probably home, so Penn State, I believe. We get the first
5?
option. No,
Penn State 6.
Yeah, sorry, my brain is
7.
Okay, there it is. My brain was going into actual rankings and not seeds. Thank you.
Okay, so Penn State would probably be wearing their blue again, even though because Boise chose to wear their white.
One Penn State practice uniform is much like another.
The last time Notre Dame was there, they were in their blue. So if they're in their white in Miami, I believe the last time they played in the Orange Bowl was the title game against Alabama. So if they're in their white, I give them a better shot to win this one. So I hate it.
Apparently, Penn State is wearing white on white.
Oh, okay.
Notre Dame is going to do the gold helmets, the navy blue jerseys with names on the back.
Okay.
I like that.
The names are going to be in the gold lettering with the gold outline to match the gold pants.
Okay. Sure.
So,
well, none of this matters, folks. Do you know why none of this matters?
I think it's an important game. Like, I'm legitimately excited for it. The one thing I'm gonna be interested in about the Orange Bowl that we didn't mention. I'm gonna be interested in the crowd, because I think the crowd in the second game is gonna be decent because of where it's being played. But
more of a draw than the previous round.
No, I'm saying than the other semifinal. I think because the one that's in the same state as one of the teams, I think that's gonna drop pretty well. But I mean, this Orange Bowl, because you're asking fan bases, right? They've already had a bowl game on the road around New Year's.
Yeah.
And this is not the championship game yet, right?
No.
So you're asking fans like
that's Phoenix. That's
Phoenix,
Miami,
and then Miami for Penn State,
and then Atlanta if they get there.
And then for Notre Dame, it's basically New Orleans, now Miami. Oh, Notre Dame's having the fun here. Notre Dame's having the fun path.
They are.
Like, they went straight on down to New Orleans. Then they go to Miami. Yeah, okay. I feel like Notre Dame fans could swing this more.
I'm going to be watching this in a sports bar, drinking my drinks off of a 409 napkin. I'm going to be the grouchiest thing.
Now, Arthur, you mentioned another game in another state. What state's that other one in?
I'm not sure, but I might drop an ad here.
The province of Mexico.
No, I don't know. That's right. I think we're just gonna have to cut this whole thing. I don't think this is gonna be.
There's my cannons.
Good.
Cannons.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
He's got cannons by himself.
The Cotton Bowl. Oh, it's 3 different sounds I layer on each other very carefully. You can't tell.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, one always doesn't work right.
So, folks, of course, we have our wonderful, amazing Cotton Bowl, the Cotton Bowl Classic, not held at the Cotton Bowl, in Arlington, Texas, Jerry World. And we need to talk about this because this might be a weather game, an indoor weather game.
Only Texas could have an indoor weather game.
According to Pete Delkus, who is the North Texas weather guru from WFAA, our local ABC station, we are going to be getting right on the edge of a bit of snow, like we're talking maybe 4 to 6 inches, and maybe some ice accumulation. So if that happens, then I feel like we are going to have at least a little fun getting everyone in there. What we're saying right now, I'm looking at Pete's Twitter account 45 minutes ago. We're watching temps very closely for Thursday into Friday. Warmer temps equals lower snow totals, more wintry mix, and cold rain possible. Colder temps equals higher snow totals, less wintry mix. Not everyone in North Texas will see the same thing.
I'm imagining a bunch of people from Eastern Ohio just driving their snow plows down to this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining them
we'll
in like a rental vehicle, like overestimating their ability to drive in Dallas in inclement weather, especially in the snow and the ice. If you've never driven in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area when it's cold, you shouldn't do that.
I mean, it's hard to drive in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area.
I mean, just normally, yes.
Normally, like, it's insane.
I learned to drive in Southern California, and there's one place I don't enjoy driving, and it's the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. I live in Montana, and I would not drive in the snow in Dallas.
I assume that when I finally make it down to Dallas, I'm just going to have Jordan Sherpa me everywhere like I did for him in Pittsburgh.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I make my sister drive me.
Yeah, like, just like in Pittsburgh, you need a native guide, and, you know, like, I was happy to perform that function. This seems like another place where you need a native guide.
Yeah, you need somebody who's used to driving those service roads.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mention what the Goodyear Cotton Bowl said about the game today. I'm going to read their statement. Quote, "We continue to monitor weather reports, and over the last 24 hours, the forecast for later this week has improved, according to the National Weather Service. We've had a meeting with all these people, blah, 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 blah. Should the forecast shift, we are prepared for all contingencies. North Texas highways are already being brined, and plans are in place to ensure a safe environment."
Oh, yeah.
Do you brine your roads? We brine our roads.
It depends on the temperature. Like right now, brining wouldn't work because it's too cold.
Everyone is reading the brining thing and asking if we are making a steak.
I was going to ask if you're spatchcocking the roads.
Uh-huh. We're going to spatchcock this weather system, baby. Woohoo! The teams are coming in tomorrow, which would be on Wednesday. And they're going to come in and deal. They're going to be here before the weather hits, which is great. And I figure once they're here, it's going to be fine. Like, honestly, this isn't that big of a storm system. I think we're overreacting here, but that's just what we do in North Texas. Arthur?
I mean, so I think the one thing maybe here, whenever there's one game followed by another game, like these like semifinals or the quarterfinals last week, ESPN loves to show the footage of the players like, oh, they're on the bus. They're coming to the arena. Like as if that's news or something, you know, like there was ever a question that they might get lost or something, or they might get waylaid somehow. And if there's inclement weather, then hey, maybe finally we'll need the shots of the teams showing up on the buses just to, you know, make sure.
So it is the next day. It's not the same day.
Oh, we won't get those shots.
But depending on where they stay in Arlington, because there's not a ton of lodging around there. Yeah.
No.
There is. It's just not. It's not like great lodging. It's mostly just like tourist shit.
I've done the stadium tour and I've been around there. I'm like, there's nothing around here for that area. Does the tollway go through Arlington?
George Bush goes nearby. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you get footage of the teams on the tollway.
That's pretty
probably.
That's what I remember from was it Super Bowl in 13? What was the Texas Super Bowl or ice that week too?
Yeah, that was like a crazy
that was a real ice storm though. That was insane.
Yeah, that was real bad.
That was like school out for a week kind of crazy. This is not that. This is going to be, I think, like I said, by the time the game starts, like I think it's going to be fine because the temperature is going to be above freezing at that point. So it'll be fine. It's going to be unpleasant for tailgating, but whatever. The whole thing about all these teams
for refreeze whenever you leave.
Yeah, especially on the bridges because they freeze.
It does happen.
Yeah.
What I haven't liked about this bowl season, of the things I have enjoyed, it's the whole we are not treating the semifinal or playoff games as bowl trips thing. We're flying in the day before, we're doing our practice, we're shaking hands, and then we're going home. We're not going to do the Rose Bowl, we're not going to do the prime rib dinner. We're not going to do all the extra stuff. We're not going to Disneyland because it's not the end point, which I get, but it does take away some of the magic of these bowls because it's just a business trip. It's no longer all the stuff around it. You don't do the, I don't know, you ride roller coaster. I guess you don't do ride roller coasters at Six Flags for the Cotton Bowl, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the other stuff too.
Yeah, you're not doing the foaling, right? You're not doing anything like that, to get the fighting. You're not playing miniature golf against the other team. You're not doing all the like typical bowl events. Like the bowl,
We're not
it's
packing school lunches at a local church. Yeah.
No, you're not. At the food bank getting like photo ops. You're not doing the go to the all those things that come along with the big bowl games. It's not. So it's kind of almost just like a bowl in name only at this point.
It's exactly what it is. It's a bowl in name only.
Yeah. So I know the sponsors fight to keep their names and the name of the bowl, and they fought to do this, but like the rest of the bowl season has been great. Like ratings have been fantastic. Everybody stayed involved in the rest of the bowl games. Ratings up. I feel like with the playoff like going on along with all these rest of the bowls, like it's kept everybody engaged in the season. And even though the season's a little bit longer than what we're used to, I feel like it's benefited the sport as a whole, I would say, because the rest of the bowl games are like, oh, cool, there's another bowl game on. It's just like, here's another one. I'm like, okay, who is this? Who is playing?
Hold up.
Where are they playing?
Hold up.
Okay.
Time out. Everyone chill the fuck out. There is something going on at the Fan Fest we need to talk about. Just found it. You got to have a game ticket for entry for the Fan Fest. It's from 3:30 to 6:30 on Friday, I believe. Yes. Mm-hmm. And the big attraction is a 60-minute performance by DJ Diesel, aka Shaquille O'Neal.
Sure.
So we do have something here for the family.
I feel like I want to take a whole bunch of pictures of just like aerial crowd shots of this game and then see how many Texas fans can tell the difference between this and Red River.
Oh yeah.
Do they have like a winter Texas State Fair?
No, I wish. That'd be fun.
What could they move like
Winterfest?
The Texas Farm Show?
There'll also be a drone show in this, not in the dome. You have to go outside after the game, after the trophy presentation, to enjoy a drone show.
Oh, I was so hoping it would be like at halftime you can leave, miss the band, and go watch the drone show outside. No re-entry though.
At halftime, we open the roof and we fly the drones inside the stadium.
I was gonna say they got those windows, right? I've been hearing about them windows.
It's gonna be so shiny.
Oh, it's nighttime.
Of course, you might want to stop by the keynote, which is being held at SMU.
There's a keynote?
Yeah, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic hosts Ewing Automotive Group Classic keynote at George W. Bush Presidential Center at Southern Massachusetts University.
That's a sentence that exists in the world.
Yeah,
Nick Saban's going to do the keynote.
Oh my God.
With Brad Sham, the voice of the Cowboys, as Master of Ceremonies, into a VIP event featuring a panel discussion delving into hot topics affecting college football and college athletics. Actually, hearing Nick Saban go off in front of a bunch of rich donors might be fun. The panel was wrapped by an opportunity for networking among civic dignitaries and sports leaders, trailblazers, and innovators. Sorry, let me try that again. Sports leaders, trailblazers, and innovators to celebrate the convergence of community, family, and the future of college football. This sounds great.
So 2 things. 1, who is innovating more in this space than we are? And 2, I do not want to go to this thing.
This is basically an offshoot of where they do the college football playoff picking in the hotel there in the Dallas area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right next to the Great Wolf Lodge. In the is it the Gaylord Event Center?
Yeah, the Gaylord Texan Hotel, yes.
Yeah, the hotel there. So yeah, this is basically just something like, hey, we got to have a fancy event here. And that's all they do in Dallas. It's like, hey, we got all this money. Let's have all these events.
That's why we have so many steakhouses. Y'all, we have so many steakhouses in Dallas that I don't go to because they're all business priced. Yeah, they're all ridiculous. Priced specifically for that kind of shit. The only time I ever go is for Restaurant Week because you can get a New York strip and like 3 sides for fewer than $100.
I haven't been to a steakhouse that isn't a like central Pennsylvania steakhouse in a very long time.
What is a central Pennsylvania steakhouse?
Oh God.
I mean, like you have your Longhorn Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse sort of chains. Then you have a thing called Haas's that I'm kind of sad I didn't take you to now that I think about it.
Haas's?
Yes, Haas's Steak and Sea House. It's founded here in beautiful Blair County, Pennsylvania, known for its seafood.
Oh God, that came up quick.
No, the minute I typed it in, man, it jumped up.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I put Haas and then apostrophe, and then it showed up.
Ooh, so I was searching the wrong Haas.
So
I was thinking about Gene Haas running a steakhouse.
I guess my question is
the brokest steakhouse.
What is a business price for a steak? Because in my world, generally, if I go to a steakhouse, which is incredibly rare, I don't usually see something over $30.
Oh my God.
That's my kind of steakhouse, Beth.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Business idea. Since apparently if it's business oriented, you can charge more for the meals. A business restaurant.
Ooh. I always had this idea of doing small plates with this and call it tapas and tatas.
That, I think, is the most frat boy sentence you have ever said in my presence.
And that's
that actually may have been, which if I remember correctly, that conversation started. That may have been with me and my frat brothers too. Actually, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, I would have questions if it started anywhere else. I'm not gonna lie to you.
There was a restaurant in New Orleans, I think, that a restaurant idea that one of my friends floated. When they had Hooters, basically just call it like Shooters, but like it's like oyster shooters, but it's like a Hooters theme thing.
I like that.
I was thinking like shooters, like to drink.
I was thinking shooters like people who come in your mentions and like yell at you about people.
Yeah.
I think shooters, but the mascot, to keep it up with Hooters, the mascot is the evergreen state gooey duck.
Well, I mean, you could have like 2 shucked oysters with like, for the duck.
With the gooey duck in the middle. Yes, that's sure. Oh good, you see it.
Oh God.
No, I don't want to see it.
I'm looking
This
at
is never gonna leave my head.
Texas plays Ohio State, right?
Filet mignon, like your smallest filet mignon, $60, and that's just the steak. And the sides are all like $15 for whatever else you want. Like
where's this menu that my sister sent me for like the Ohio State Steakhouse? I gotta find that.
Oh, again. the one run by Urban, that one?
No,
Urban's Chop House.
This one is different. Oh God, what is it?
I feel like I'll just go to one of the high school rodeos, and enter in for the side of beef, and then I can have all of the steaks for way less than that.
Honestly, if I'm on SMU, I think there's a Cane's around there. I'm just gonna go to the Cane's.
There we go. No, so this one is the Ohio State Steakhouse. I'll post it in our normal chat here, real quick. Hold on, let me see.
Steakhouse prices are like I don't understand steakhouse economics at all.
It's Hyde Park Steakhouse, in Ohio. Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse, and they have all Ohio State themed.
Oh, steaks. Can I read these?
Yes, read them.
So the Ryan Day steak is 26 ounces. That's $82.
We'll say what it is, though.
It is a 36-day dry-aged bone-in ribeye, heavily marbled, rich beef flavor. That is Ryan Day.
Because if he doesn't continue to win football games, his continued employment is probably going to be 36 days or under.
We have the Bobby Rahal steak, 16 ounces, ribeye heavily marbled, $49. The Urban Meyer steak, 14 ounces, New York strip, $52.
Doesn't mention any marbling there.
I mean, was Bobby Rahal Bobby Rahal a marbled sort of person?
I don't know.
He's still around. I don't know.
This is the only one that's named after like a race car driver, though. The rest are like,
I was like, I think he's a race car driver. That's right. Mm-hmm. We also have
he's a race car driver. He owns the team with David Letterman.
Yeah.
Steak Herb Streets, 22 ounces, bone-in ribeye, heavily marbled. That makes sense. $57. And lastly, Steak Woody.
I feel like that would be mostly bone.
Steak Woody, 7 ounces, petite cuts of tenderloin wrapped in bacon, melted blue cheese, and bordelaise. $35. You're covering up crappy cuts with sauce. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that's what you're doing there. I know what this is.
The Woody experience.
Basically, God, yes. But like at this other restaurant I was saying, their au gratin potato side is like $18.
What are they doing? What are they doing? Like a cave age special cheese?
No, I don't think so.
There's one in San Antonio that's the business price thing. It's like fine dining. It's called Perry's, which I think they probably have one in Texas too. But like, the main thing is like at lunch on like certain days, it's like you can get the lunch pork chop for like $15, and it's like huge. But like every side is like you have to order it like a la carte. It's just like you get nothing comes with anything. You have to like order everything.
No, of course not.
And I mean, the food is good, but it's just like this is the business price thing that you do. It's just like, oh, this is like where you're on a business, dinner and
business lunch, right?
Convention, and here's giant portions of really expensive meats.
Here you go, Beth. This is a different steakhouse. This is Three Forks in Dallas. Tomahawk ribeye, bone-in, served with flamed Jack Daniels, bottled in bond, bourbon-infused Malden salt. 32 ounces, $142.
Jesus Christ.
Does it come with the rest of the cow?
No.
This has to be like the restaurant at the end of the universe where the cow comes out and introduces itself
Eat
to
your
you.
meat. You eat your meat.
Yeah.
God, this is stupid. Like
I used to go, like, there was a good steakhouse place outside of Bozeman about I think it was in Three Forks. I don't think we paid for an anniversary dinner like what you would pay for that one steak. And we got some expensive cuts of meat, and that was a really good steakhouse. It was Sir Scott's Oasis, rest in peace.
I need to have a moment of like grouchy farm kid here where I remind you that like Black Angus doesn't mean anything. Those are words that don't mean anything. That's a cow that is black. That's all it is.
Yeah,
You're paying for a cow that is black.
Mm-hmm.
I think Texas wins this game. Hard turn. I think Texas wins this game because I want them to. It's all vibes based. Fuck it. I think Texas wins.
Putting this out into the universe. You're gonna put it on your vision board.
He's gonna manifest it by going to expensive steakhouses.
Here's the best part, guys. Because of the 4 teams left: Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State. Hey Beth,
what?
Who you cheering for? Those 4. Who you want to see with the national title?
Texas.
Arthur, who do you want to see with the national title?
Stupidest timeline.
I see horns. Yep. They're just giving me horns up too. There
horns
we go.
Up, baby. Nothing matters. Let's go.
I'm down on Texas.
Look up. I actually have good feelings for Texas because I have friends who went there. My family like buys me Texas stuff, so it's fine.
I'm thinking Ohio State.
If I have to choose, it's the devil I know, and it's Texas.
Yes, that's right.
I'm
never going for Ohio State.
I'm not going for
Never
Ohio
in the
State,
universe.
but
I'll go there. Ohio State.
I'm seeing here.
I
Everyone looks
Ohio
so beaten down. I love this.
I feel like this is Ohio State's to win now.
This is staining you.
Oh, this is making me feel so good. Little old underdog Texas.
Nobody believed in Texas.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of what it is now. Like Ohio State's the overwhelming favorite.
Texas.
Nobody believes in little old Texas. Texas is playing in their home state, only 200 miles away from their campus in Austin. And nobody believes in Texas. And it's just like, okay, you have the angriest set of Buckeyes like known to man still. Are they still angry after like dismantling Oregon? Do they have hatred?
I don't think so. I don't think they are.
Okay. Well, where did Quinn Ewers transfer from?
Ohio State, after he took the money and run.
Mm-hmm. Are they mad at him for doing that?
Ooh, tickets are coming down. Standing room tickets are only $124.
That's most of a steak.
It's cheaper than that steak, yeah.
It's cheaper than that steak. I don't know. But
Parking,
I mean, are
50 to 80, yeah.
Are they mad? And think about this too. Like
you have a state that's that big and you charge that much for parking?
Yeah, I know.
Of course you do. It's Jerry World. What is she gonna do? How is she gonna make that money?
Dumb.
Quinn is the only former Ohio State player that has beaten Michigan, and he beat Michigan earlier this year.
That's true.
You think Ohio State has motivation for that? Do you think they're like, hey, and like he'll just say this, well, I beat Michigan, and then that just angers the entire state of Ohio again. And I don't know, man.
The line of scrimmage
seats for like $100. Ooh,
you're gonna go?
I want to see Quinn Ewers the line of scrimmage calling out the play, except it's the opening line to "Hail to the Victors."
No,
so he's just clapping it out like "Hail to the Victors, valiant."
Just pissing off the entire Ohio State defensive line.
Took that.
Just jump off sides, personal foul. But like,
they
no. Hey, if he does that, Ohio State's gonna fucking fold because they can't beat Michigan. If Texas comes out in maize and blue, auto win here, baby.
Oh man, okay. Are you gonna do that with the Texas uniform now? Make it.
Maybe I'll put out.
This is the weirdest Mighty Ducks reboot.
The maize and blue Texas uniform. I want like all navy,
yellow
pants, and then I want the Longhorn yellow like that. Like do like a Texas school. Texas high school probably has those colors.
Oh, guarantee.
But man, I feel like Ohio State's too strong. And I don't feel like Ohio State, knock on wood, has had many like injuries to overcome in these first two games because they've handled their business. How is Texas's secondary? Can they handle Jeremiah Smith? Can they get to them?
That's the question for me. Yeah. Like that's the question for me, and I don't know, and I am very worried about Texas getting torched. Like that's of all the things they're good at stopping the big plays. Ohio State's good at doing them, and I feel like that's where this is going to go. If Texas can stop the big stuff, then we're okay. It'll be close. Ohio State has a chance to open this shit up real wide, and it'd be bad.
Arizona State was showing some weaknesses in the Texas defense now. I know there's like superhuman Cam Scatteroo, but like,
Okay, but that game was...
It was in Atlanta. It was a Peach Bowl.
But it's fine. It's still tape. Like, that's how I feel about, like, North Dakota State beating Montana State.
Yeah.
Like, the game that Montana State played right before the championship, there were some cracks in that game that North Dakota State absolutely exploited. So I think that if you analyze that tape, you can start to pinpoint, like, there's a weakness here. There's a weakness here. There's a weakness here. Ryan Day is still working through some stuff for that Michigan game. Yes. They can be very scary.
And I feel like Ohio State's not going to have to send the house to get to Quinn.
No, they've been very clear that it doesn't require a whole ton to get to Quinn sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Arizona State sent everybody on that one play and that backfired. I mean, maybe they should have played coverage, but Arizona State secondary is not necessarily as good as Ohio State secondary. This Ohio State team kind of reminds me of the 2-loss LSU national title team. In a way,
I get you.
Like the quarterback is about the same. Like doesn't like light the world on fire, but does just enough, makes enough plays to get things done. Incredible, like skill players. The defense insane at times, and so they remind me of that a little bit. And I don't want to insult LSU fans here, but just the 2-loss thing that Ohio State has, like. And Ohio State had like 2 stupid losses. Like LSU had 2 stupid losses that year too.
Yeah,
for both of them in like double and triple OT. That's the similarity wise.
Hey Beth, you okay? What's up, Beth?
Beth has just seen the P chart colored Longhorn logo.
Those are the official colors.
It's a bad teammate.
It's a very bad teammate.
Oh my god. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, folks, that's what we got for our preview. This sure was a preview episode.
We talked a lot of football. Oh, can I leave it with one quote about Riley Leonard?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I forgot to mention that when we discussed the game. This is from Jack Sobel. He says, quintessential Riley Leonard quote from today's Orange Bowl Media Day. I don't understand why I'm hard to tackle, honestly. I don't have very good juke moves. I'm very tall, not intimidating, at least on the field, but guys just miss. I really don't know why.
Beautiful. Folks, we will see you on the other side.
Fucking Sadafest destiny.